I started Vyver Consulting about 2.5 years ago. And one of the premises behind starting the company was to really help and enable organizations that are really looking to formalize their partnerships program. So over my career, over the last 20 plus years, I've noticed, while working at from companies like Amazon to CA Technologies and then smaller startups as well, I noticed along the way that partnerships kind of is always left by the wayside. Typically, you notice CEOs or CROs investing heavily on sales and marketing. And when it comes to partnerships, it's very hard to find the tangible value from partnerships. So when I looked at this and having spent, a considerable amount of the latter half of my career in partnerships, I noticed that applying the right kind of framework gets the attention from the sales team, sales leaders, the marketing team, the product team, and organization. So this is really important in terms of really ensuring success. And at Vyver Consulting, one of the ideas is we help enterprise SaaS B2B companies grow via partnerships. That doesn't mean that you're not going to need sales. Absolutely, you're going to need all of those functions to work in synchrony. But the main aspect is being able to have a framework with which large organizations or small, medium businesses that have just raised their Series A or Series B funding, how to take them from, basically doing knee-jerk reaction partnerships to really having a framework that will drive revenue, make the product stronger even, and at the same time make sure all the functions such as sales, marketing, and the product teams are, as well as the engineering teams, are all aligned when it comes to developing these partnerships. I would say in a nutshell, significant number, if I throw a number out, 70% of partnerships actually do fail. We all take them to the finish line with getting into commercial agreements, ensuring that the products might be integrated, and then it typically falls flat on their face. And why does that happen? Well, because the journey really starts when you have just begun the integration, and the integration's been done correctly. That drives a use case and a value proposition for the end customer, right? A lot of organizations start with this concept of a phase one and then a phase two approach. Phase one being, hey, we'll do some basic integration, but it never really kicks off and starts off the ground. And so when you take all of this information and these ideas, you really start to understand that, okay, if you're going to build a partnerships team, if your technology is going to integrate with other third-party solutions, you need to do it well. And you need to focus on what it is that is going to drive the 80-20, right? Where those few integrations that really count, that really drive that value proposition is what's going to make or break or whether that partnership is going to succeed or fail. Second of all, alliances and partnerships teams, often show long-term value. It takes sometimes, 6 months. That would be a very good run rate to usually somewhere in the 18 to 24 month time frame for a single partnership to really bear fruit. And so it's always an afterthought to invest in a partnerships team. Often, a partnerships team is significantly expensive. So by being able to use a fractional CBO or a fractional VP of partnerships becomes very cost effective for organizations to then leverage a company such as Vyver Consulting to come in and really understand their business, understand what those key integrations are, and how exactly you're then going to be able to make the partnerships team a real revenue generating engine. And in some cases also just a strengthening the product engine that gives you better at-bats for the enterprise sales team in their deals. So there are many more aspects I can talk about it, but having spent, as I said, significant amount of time over 2 decades across, large scale, small scale companies, I think it's really important to start with what I often talk about in my book called the Marketecture Framework. That is really how you understand where your technology stands in the landscape of what it is you have to offer, who you're going to integrate with, what do the customer reviews say, What do Gartner Forrester IDC reports say? What are the real needs of the customers? What are the competitors doing, right? But most importantly, it is what is that user experience or customer experience going to be that's going to be that much more of a value add by running and developing these integrations. I'll talk more about it in following videos, which will talk more about the ISV architecture, how I came up with it, and then how it's been helping organizations grow. If you'd like to learn more about this, definitely subscribe to my channel, and we'd be happy to serve you more content over the following weeks and months as I invest in being able to educate technology professionals across the industry to learn more about Vyver Consulting, our perspectives, and how to build an efficient go-to-market strategy. Thank you.